What if the metal inside your next pickup truck, SUV, or electric vehicle suddenly became the focus of a global bidding war? Europe is quietly racing to secure Canada's low-carbon aluminum, and the ripple effects could reshape vehicle production, manufacturing costs, and the future of the auto industry across North America. Welcome back to your ultimate pit stop, Piston Pundit. Today, we're counting down 5 major developments explaining why this strategic shift matters, how it could influence automakers on both sides of the Atlantic, and why America's long-standing aluminum advantage may never look the same again. Number 5. Tariffs spark a race for Canada's aluminum supply. For decades, Canada's aluminum industry and American manufacturing operated almost like two pistons, moving in perfect synchronization. Canadian smelters supplied lightweight metal that found its way into pickup truck frames, engine components, transmission housings, EV battery casings, and aerospace structures across the United States. Then, trade policies and tariffs began altering that rhythm. Facing greater uncertainty, Canadian producers started expanding into new export markets, with Europe emerging as a natural destination. The continent's manufacturers have shown increasing interest in securing dependable aluminum supplies while offering attractive market conditions. Although the United States remains Canada's largest customer, it is no longer the only major bidder. That growing competition could reshape pricing, procurement strategies, and long-term planning for automakers relying on lightweight materials. But shifting trade flows are only part of the story. Europe isn't just chasing more aluminum, it's becoming increasingly selective about which aluminum it wants to buy. Number 4. Europe targets Canada's green aluminum edge for the future. Europe isn't simply purchasing more aluminum, it's prioritizing aluminum with a cleaner production story. That distinction carries enormous weight in today's automotive industry. Much of Canada's primary aluminum is produced using hydroelectric power, especially in Quebec, giving it a significantly lower carbon footprint than many competing sources. For automakers engineering the next generation of electric vehicles, every kilogram of embedded emissions matters alongside horsepower and battery range. Lightweight aluminum already improves acceleration, efficiency, and handling, but producing it with renewable energy makes it even more attractive under tightening environmental standards. European manufacturers increasingly view Canadian supply as a strategic advantage that combines dependable output, political stability, and sustainability. For companies trying to reduce emissions throughout their supply chain, Canada's hydro-powered smelters offer an appealing long-term solution rather than just another commodity source. And once Europe recognized the environmental advantage, the conversation quickly expanded beyond sustainability to long-term industrial planning. Number 3. Europe's industrial boom drives a long-term aluminum grab. Europe's appetite for Canadian aluminum extends well beyond today's headlines. It aligns with broader investments across transportation, energy, defense, and advanced manufacturing that will require vast quantities of lightweight metals for years to come. Modern vehicles depend heavily on aluminum alloys for battery enclosures, suspension assemblies, structural reinforcements, wheels, crash management systems, and thermal control components. The same material also plays a vital role in aircraft construction, rail projects, wind turbines, military equipment, and high-voltage transmission infrastructure. As engineers chase lower curb weights to improve efficiency and performance, aluminum remains one of their most valuable tools. This isn't merely about commodity trading, it's about securing the raw materials that power future mobility. Europe increasingly appears to view Canada's aluminum not as a short-term purchase, but as a strategic resource essential for sustaining industrial competitiveness well into the next decade. But aluminum itself is only one chapter in a much bigger story. The broader partnership forming between Canada and Europe could prove even more significant. Number 2. Canada and Europe forge a powerful strategic resource alliance. Canada's aluminum story is only one piece of a much larger industrial partnership taking shape with Europe. In recent years, European governments and manufacturers have worked to diversify supply chains after energy disruptions and geopolitical uncertainty, while Canada has looked beyond its traditional dependence on the US market. That strategy extends to LNG, uranium, critical minerals, hydrogen, potash, and other resources essential to modern industry. Aluminum naturally fits into the mix because it underpins vehicle manufacturing, aerospace, packaging, defense, and electrification. For gearheads, it's worth remembering that lighter aluminum components can improve fuel economy, handling, and EV efficiency without sacrificing strength. Europe increasingly sees Canada as a dependable long-term supplier, creating opportunities that stretch well beyond today's headlines. If you're enjoying this deep dive, this is the perfect time to subscribe to Piston Pundit and turn on notifications. We cover the engineering, manufacturing, and global developments shaping the vehicles you'll be driving tomorrow. And that brings us to the biggest question of all. What happens when this growing competition directly affects the cars and trucks rolling off assembly lines? Number 1. Europe's aluminum surge could redefine tomorrow's vehicle production. Today's vehicles rely on aluminum more than ever before. Automakers use it in body panels, suspension parts, engine components, battery enclosures, crash structures, and even wheels to cut weight while improving efficiency, towing capability, and performance. Whether it's a full-size pickup or a next-generation EV, lightweight engineering has become a competitive advantage. That's why Europe's growing demand for Canadian aluminum matters. If European buyers continue securing larger volumes, North American manufacturers could face stronger competition when negotiating future supply contracts. At the same time, Canada is investing in expanded production and advanced smelting technologies that reduce emissions while boosting output. The companies that lock in reliable access to low-carbon aluminum today may gain an edge in tomorrow's increasingly competitive automotive market. When you connect all 5 developments, a clear picture begins to emerge. Verdict: Europe's aluminum challenge is reshaping global auto supply. The biggest takeaway isn't that Canada is turning away from the United States. North America's automotive supply chain remains deeply interconnected, and the US continues to be Canada's largest aluminum customer. What's changing is that Europe is becoming a far more significant competitor for those same resources. As manufacturers pursue lighter vehicles, cleaner production methods, and more resilient supply chains, Canadian aluminum is evolving from a simple commodity into a strategic asset. That could influence sourcing decisions, production costs, and even the design of future internal combustion models, hybrids, and electric vehicles. Now we'd love to hear from you. Do you think Europe will remain a major long-term buyer of Canadian aluminum? Should North America invest more aggressively in expanding its own aluminum production capacity? Could growing global competition for lightweight metals eventually increase the price of your next car or truck? Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. We always enjoy hearing different perspectives from fellow enthusiasts. If you enjoyed this analysis, be sure to subscribe to Piston Pundit and enable notifications so you're always first to know about the latest vehicle updates, engineering breakthroughs, and automotive industry developments. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. You can now check out any of the videos on your screen. There's plenty more to explore.